Start just by saying your name and a little bit about your work with dogs. What do you do in the field?
My name's Nina Fetter, and I was a professional handler until December of last year, and then I got this crazy idea that I'd become a dog show superintendent. And then, COVID happened and everything's gotten canceled. We have gotten a couple dog shows done in October and trying to move forward.
Just to back up a little bit, tell me a little bit more about your career as a handler. What kinds of breeds did you handle?
I was pretty much an all-breed handler. I bred Pomeranians and Border Terriers, and that's kind of what addicted me. Well, my parents started it all. They brought me up in dogs, and I showed dogs since I was a child, and they were judges. And so it just went from there.
What made you decide to make the move to superintendent?
Well, it's hard going to the dog shows by yourself, and you couldn't find anyone that wants to work as hard as we do. So I thought it would be a little less stressful and a little less work, but I might have been wrong.
And where are you based, Nina?
Lima, Ohio.
Talk now a little bit about the challenges you faced this summer. So you're underway with your new role as a superintendent, and then what happened?
Well, we had shows scheduled in April, May, June, and July, and of course, everything got canceled. So that doesn't get our experience or anything started. So then our June show was our first all-breed show that we thought we could get to go. And we only got to do the Labrador specialty because my health department said, do a small show, not a big show.
And
so we did.
Do you mean on your own showgrounds, or
Yeah. The Lima Kennel Club has their own showgrounds. And so we're trying to promote that because it's an outdoor venue with 22 acres. And now our health department understands that we can do it safely. And so we're going to try to promote our showgrounds to have more national specialties and all breed shows.
When they first approached you and said that they were uncomfortable about you doing it, was any of them experienced in this field, or did you have to educate them?
Oh, no, they had no clue. We had my guy that I worked with usually, he retired, of course, on June 1st. And the new woman we got had no idea what dog shows were. She thought when I said we had exhibitors under the pavilion, she thought exhibitors were vendors that sold stuff because she thought we were a flea market. So we started at basis square B or square A, and I sent her the AKC book on basics to dog shows and went through all our protocol, explained to her all our verbiage, and then she understood it a little more. They were good with our motorhome parking, other than, we had the stipulation 10 to a mass gathering. Well, they wouldn't give us our motorhome or campground permit, which is, I talked to a number of people. The sheriff wouldn't have done anything, but you still don't want to ruin your relationship with your health department. So I told her I understood that she was concerned about having 1,200 dogs. She thought it would be 2,000 people, 3,000 people, which she didn't understand that at all. So they came to the Labrador show, and there was about, I'd say 150 people, and we had 100 labs. And so they figured out we could do it. They measured everything, made sure we did everything good, and then they said, okay, you're good for August for our all breed show. But then August came and our county turned red because it's yellow, orange, red, and then purple. And so our governor said no mass gatherings. So we had to postpone August. And it was mainly because we have a state facility prison, and they had 35 cases, which made our numbers go up, and they felt it was unsafe. So then she approved us for August, and we went red. So then we got approved for the first weekend of October.
And did that go forward?
Yep, that went forward. We had a great show. We had an entry of 1,248 on our highest day, and I think 1,208 was the lowest day. Everything went great. Everyone was good. Everyone wore masks. We did the social distancing, and the health department said we could do shows there safely. And then we had a show the weekend after. Also, Crawford County came to our show site and they had 1,200 dogs each day on Saturday and Sunday.
So do you feel that by doing this, you're developing some examples and some momentum that will make this easier going forward?
Oh, it will. It's trial and error. There were mistakes on our catalogs and we had some bumps and, things, we're new. It's a new business. It's a new start and everything's not going to be perfect. It's just how you handle it and you make things work.
It sounds as if one of the ways you're handling it really well is understanding how those personal relationships and taking the time makes a real difference.
It does. I'm trying to be more personable with the show chairmans and learning to communicate better with them, ask better questions. Trying to help the national clubs is hard because they change show chairmans every year. So I'm learning to get my contract down to be more specific, to know what their needs are and to ask the right questions that don't get yourself in trouble, them expecting something that one of the other show secretaries or supers have done. So, moving forward, you learn to communicate better with the show chairmans, and it's sometimes like pulling teeth getting answers from them.
Do you feel that there was an advantage to the fact that you were new to it, that you had an opportunity to be flexible because you weren't set in your ways yet?
No, I think I can be flexible mainly because all the others have a lot of overhead. And right now, since I haven't had a lot of shows, we don't have the employees and the overhead. It's a little harder on us because we're doing more, but it'll all come together eventually.
Yes, I was talking to other people in your position around the country, and a lot of what they were saying was that everybody just buckled down and did every job they had to.
Right. And pretty much that's what everyone had to. I mean, even all the other supers, you can't keep the people, you can't pay them to work when they don't have the business. And then to bring them back, you have to think of their part of it. You're going to mess up all their unemployment and stuff like that. So you got to have a heart and you got to look at both sides of the story and just get through it because everyone's having a hard time this year.
That seems very gallant. How did your participants and constituents feel about all of this?
My county commissioners were great. Most of the superintendents have been great. They're very supportive because we need another show secretary superintendent because of Roy Jones closing and Mosbo's very busy. Anna Ferrio's, everyone's busy and the shows will come back. It's just we're going to have to find more outdoor venues probably and try to help the clubs more.
You pretty much rolled into my next question. What do you see long term?
I think the indoors right now is going to be hard. I know our Columbus show we usually have in Columbus in November. We were not going to have a dog show in Columbus, Ohio at all. So we moved it to Wilmington and normally we have 3,000 dogs on Saturday and Sunday and Wilmington show site can't take 3,000 dogs. So we lowered it to 1,500 and right now you have to do show and go. So there's really not allowed to be any grooming inside the buildings because I know down there, they spray the building every night and what they spray the building with does leave a residue. So I'm not sure, they say it's pet safe. Our clubs do not want to be responsible for saying it's pet safe. So we recommend that they take all their equipment out and there's no dogs in the building. We realize it's November. It's going to be a little chilly. But when we all first started dog shows way back, we all went in our vans. We all groomed outside, didn't use blow dryers as much. People that are fortunate to have motorhomes, they're at a little advantage because they can groom in their motorhome. But it is what it is this year. And if people don't want to go to the dog show because you have to groom outside or you can't be in the building longer than 15 minutes, show and go, then their choice is they probably shouldn't go to the dog show until we get them more back to normal. Will it ever be back to normal? I don't know. It's going to depend on when they get the vaccination and how many people take the vaccination. And, so right now I think most of the shows are looking for outdoor venues and they're going to move their dates to summer and fall.
I hadn't really thought about this until you were describing how physically it changes everything. Is this changing the sense of community? Because it's such a strong community.
I think we've all, as dog show people community, I think we've pulled together. I think people just have to understand it's going to be a little different for a little while.
Good, thank you, Nina. Is there anything else that I should have asked you or that you'd like to talk about that we didn't touch on?
Not that I know of. I'm not sure that handling dogs was a lot easier, but you know, it's a whole different new venue, and you live and learn.
What do you feel about Westminster's decision?
I think it's a good decision. I do not think they could have held it at Madison Square Garden, because of the one being condoned. You know, I just think it's a better decision on their part, and they could make it a beautiful show. We just hope they have good weather. That will be an option they can't control, but that's with any outdoor dog show. I mean, I know most of our shows up here in December have been canceled. January's been canceled, February's been canceled, March has been canceled because they're all indoor venues. And hopefully the show chairmans and the clubs will look out of the box and try to find an outdoor venue so they could reschedule their shows.
This may be the only upside to climate change.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be a slow process. I think it will get back to normal eventually, but it's going to take time. I mean, like Royal Canin down in Florida, that's going to be a whole different ball game too.
This is a resilient community. It sounds to me as if you're just describing another aspect of how people carry on. Do you think it helps that the center of all of this is dogs? Dogs are just generally hopeful by nature.
They do. I mean, they give you, you know, their love's unconditional, and we do this because we love the dogs, and we all had great clients. And I want to give back to the smaller clubs because a lot of small clubs are going to fold because they can't afford the more expensive superintendents. And so this way I can give back to them and help them have a good couple years to build their bank accounts back up, because most of them, their main income is dog shows.
This is exactly why we're doing this series. We wanted to both help celebrate the good that's coming out of this and just remind everybody that we're all connected in some way.
We are, and I think communication and helping the clubs are going to be the best way that any of us can help them, because everyone's members are getting older. It's harder to get new club members. The old ones don't want to let go and help the young ones. And the young ones are just so busy with their family, their jobs and everything that they don't have the time to get involved in the kennel club. And like our club, we have probably 10 members that work really hard, and no one realizes how much they mow, how much they weed whack, how much we do upkeep on our building. I mean, it's a lot to consider that people don't even understand.
Yes, I could just imagine. Thank you very much for your time, Nina, and very good luck going forward.